I think there's 8 teams going into next offseason that will have real quarterback questions about who they are going forward with as their starter. I think Philadelphia. I think Pittsburgh, New Orleans, Denver, the Giants, Washington, Carolina, Miami. I think there's 8 teams that are going to be looking at quarterbacks. It's not a great college class. And if Russell Wilson plays good, but the Seahawks don't perform and don't win football games, he's still going to be really unhappy. And I think his future is the greatest unknown right now heading into the NFL in the next couple weeks, months, and into the offseason.
My retort to that soliloquy that you just wasted our time with is that, you know something, Dan Orlovsky, thank the good Lord that you're no script writer. You're not producing or directing movies or television shows or anything like that, because you don't know the definition of compelling. I mean, you got to be kidding me. You think that this is compelling? Nobody think about Russell Wilson right now. Here's the deal. When you look at him, okay, you got the 2 games against Arizona. You got San Francisco in 3 weeks. You got the I get all of that. But this week, when you talk about more compelling, we're talking about coming up this weekend, okay? And there is no question that it's Aaron Rodgers, because let me tell you why. With Aaron Rodgers and the stuff that he's got himself involved in, Dan Orlovsky, you know what? I think we might have opened Pandora's box. I think that we might have unleashed the wolf, because regardless of how disgusted I am with Aaron Rodgers being so weak, and being deliberately deceitful and scared to just tell the truth and move on and making something out of nothing, to be quite honest with you, as disgusted as I am and disappointed as I am with him over that, I also recognize the fact that Aaron Rodgers might be even more motivated than he was before to just turn it up and turn it out. I mean, when we talk about, think about this. This is a guy, stay with me, Dan, because I'm trying to help you out here. Remember, I know soap operas, okay? I know soap operas, Dan. Stay with me here on this. Aaron Rodgers, with the offseason that he had, creating all of that noise, he was disgusted with Green Bay. I defended him, recognizing how the Green Bay Packers as an organization treated him. He wanted to be traded, all of this other stuff. We're waiting to hear from Aaron Rodgers. We finally heard from Aaron Rodgers before training camp started. This dude gives just a lengthy dissertation on what he had experienced with the Green Bay Packers and how change needed to come. Obviously, after renegotiating his contract, basically rendering 2023 null and void, so he could be out after next season. We heard all of this stuff, right? And that was motivation in and of itself, coming off an MVP season in which he threw 48 touchdowns, just 5 interceptions. You knew he was going to be ready to go. Plus, he got to compete against Tom Brady and those boys, right? But now this happened. And because this happened, and this brother's been in the eye of the storm, and you've got people all over the country questioning who the hell he is and what he's all about, how do you silence all of that noise? How do you silence all of that noise? You go out there and you show out, and you remind everybody how great you are, and you win the Super Bowl championship. I think that Aaron Rodgers, if it was possible, is even more motivated than he was weeks ago. I think he comes back. I think he turns it out the rest of this season. I think that you're going to see him put up astronomical numbers. He's going to put on a show, because he is that dude. We can't deny that. He is that dude. I think that's feeding off of this controversy that he's got himself embroiled in. I think it's going to elevate his level of motivation even more. That's compelling. That's intrigue. Well, Russell Wilson and the Seahawks are already 4 games out of first place.
Well, thank you so much for rehashing the last 9 months and reminding us everything that has transpired over the last 9 months with Aaron Rodgers.
Because last week.
No, you just rehashed the last 9 months. The question was about the future. It wasn't about what has transpired in the past.
It is about the future.
And so you're going to tell me that my expectation is Aaron Rodgers is going to put up astronomical numbers.
No.
Welcome to 2021.
Aaron Rodgers might win the Super Bowl.
Years.
Aaron Rodgers might be the Super Bowl.
Now you had to add that on. Now you had to get a real take.
Yeah.
A real take.
Aaron Rodgers might win this.
Did Molly just say a real take?
You're telling me he's going to be this now he's
we know Aaron Rodgers is going to ball. You know that.
Excuse me.
Exactly, Molly.
We don't know where Russell Wilson is going to play. Is that correct?
He's been efficient. He's been efficient. Aaron Rodgers has been winning games with throwing for under 200 yards. Aaron Rodgers ain't been throwing for 350, 400 yards, stuff like that. He ain't been slinging it all over this season.
Stephen A., if I asked
you to watch the Bengals game? You watched the San Francisco
that game. I'm talking, but they played 7, 8 games, Dan. You talking about one game? Come on now.
Stephen A., if I asked you to bet your big giant salary if Aaron Rodgers will ball out, you would be happy to do it, right? You would confidently do that. But if I asked you where's Russell Wilson going to play next year, you would not.
Thank you, Molly.
Listen, who cares? Who cares
Who
right
cares?
now where Russell Wilson's going to play next year?
One of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Stephen A., who's your favorite football team? Who's your team?
Pittsburgh Steelers.
You don't think the Steelers care? You don't think Steelers fans are watching going, I wonder if Russell Wilson's going to leave the Seattle?
No, that's not what I mean. Guys, I'm talking about the most compelling return, Wilson or Rodgers, because they're getting ready to go against each other this week. We'll care about Russell Wilson in the offseason. This season right now, we ain't really thinking about Seattle. They 4 games out of first place. What are you talking about?
Because we're not asking about who's the more compelling team, Packers or Seahawks. We're asking who's the more compelling return. And this is an organization.
You're trying to tell me right now the football world is more interested in seeing Russell Wilson than they are in Aaron Rodgers?
It's more. I'm more compelled by watching what happens with Russell Wilson over the next 2 months. Absolutely.
You're
I know
not
what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers.
You're not more compelled by watching Aaron Rodgers and with everybody coming at him and how he might respond to all of that noise. You're not concerned about that.
No, because I don't think Aaron is impacted by that. I don't think Aaron is paying attention to that noise.
Oh, yes, he is. Yes, he is. You don't give the interviews that he gave without paying attention to it. That's a lie.
I don't think he's impacted by it. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going, you know what? I got to go throw for 350 this weekend to prove everybody that you guys should have come. He don't care about that.
Have to prove it. He doesn't have to prove anything, but you do want to remind folks, just like he said, I'm an athlete. I'm not an activist. I'm going to go out there and show and remind everybody, you just need to shut the hell up and enjoy the show, because that's what I'm going to put on so I can divert attention away from all of this stuff. Do I think that's likely? You're damn right I do.
Russell Wilson calls himself Mr. Unlimited.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.